Hello. How is everyone tonight? Hope everyone's having a good Thursday night. Am I coming through loud and clear? Let me know. Thank you all for joining me for this Unsolved Mystery stream. This is the first Unsolved Mystery stream I've done in a long time. So I know a lot of people have been looking forward to another one of these. So I hope you all enjoy. I've tried to make it as atmospheric as possible. So I hope you all enjoy. And couldn't be a more perfect day to do an Unsolved Mystery stream. It is September 1st, the official first day of fall. So I'm excited about that. Let me see who's with me here so far. We've got JHP LLC. How you doing, sir? Josh M. NV Dalver. We got Dave Vanderhoff, Dave O, Punisher Batman fan, William Ramskill, Alan Kostick, Rick Hunter, Laura Hansen. I'm good, Laura. How are you? There's Cody. Cody, how are you, sir? Lopke Vision Films. Hope you're doing well. Hope the family's doing well. Joshua Snare, Wade Lindeman, Ewan Thomas, Jeffrey DeShore. There's Big Crack Rock. How's it going, buddy? Grim Ghastly. Great name. There's Alexis's Horror. How are you tonight, Alexis? Jimmy L324. SV7SV, how are you tonight? DJ Donnelly, hello. Chris Roberts, hello. PlayStation 9, what's up? Hope everybody is doing well tonight. Who's ready to be scared out of their wits with a couple of chilling unsolved mysteries? By the way, how's the background music? Is the background music too high? Is it interfering with my with me at all? Let me know. Let me know. What's up, Big T? Swaggy G. How's it going, buddy? I know, I'm so excited. It's the first day of fall. Even though it was still like 90 degrees today, and, you know, humid as all get out, it's still the first day of fall. Background music is good. Good, good, good. It's fine. Sounds good. Awesome. You have to travel an hour and a half to go to a Spirit Halloween, JHP? Good Lord. What's up, Dan? How are you, sir? Hope you're doing well. Loki is setting the mood with some Unita wax melts, a bubble bath, and Kenny G playing in the back. Nice. Nice, nice, nice. Ooh. If you've not dropped a like on the stream, please do so. I would appreciate that very much.
Mama? Yes, darling, what is it? Mother, this cloth smells of death.
Thank you, Dave-O, for the $2 super chats. Appreciate that, sir. Big T, I agree. Listen, I've said this before, but I'll say it again. Horror movies never scared me as a kid. The dramatic reenactments on Unsolved Mysteries scared the crap out of me. I'm still scarred for life because of Unsolved Mysteries and those dramatic reenactments. And Robert Stack, his voice, just him like hanging out in the fog, in the darkness, you know. It's freaky. It's creepy. Creepy as hell. That's right, Dan. What happened to season 3 of Unsolved Mysteries on Netflix? Is that not getting a season 3? Does anybody know what's what the deal is with that. I don't remember much about the first season. I'm sorry, I don't remember much about the second season, but the first season I thought was incredible. The first day of fall. I thought the first day of fall was September 1st. Am I? Why was everyone saying today is the first day of fall? Yeah, this says September 22nd. But why? I've heard from several people. Several people have wished me happy first day of fall. I don't. Okay, we're just gonna pretend it's the first day of fall. Okay. We're just going to pretend it's the first day of fall. You were never into Unsolved Mysteries, Alexis? You should. Good. I think just about every season is available on Amazon Prime. You should definitely check those out. Freaky is all get out. Okay, so today is the unofficial first day of fall. Oh goodness. I want it to be the first day of fall. So let's just make it the first day of fall. Yeah, they're on Tubi. Yep, they're on Tubi too. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You can find them on YouTube also. So I mean, they're everywhere, Alexis. You should dive in. I wouldn't watch them at night, and I wouldn't watch them alone. So, just keep that in mind.
Mama. Yes, darling, what is it? Mother, this closet smells of death.
Oh, wow. JHP LLC, thank you for the 1999 super chat, sir. Very generous of you. I appreciate that. I appreciate that very much. Before we dive into the Unsolved Mysteries tonight, I do want to say I've already got an Unsolved Mystery lined up for the next stream. And this is one of my all-time favorite Unsolved Mysteries from the show Unsolved Mysteries. It's freaky. It's creepy. It's... So, that'll be a good one to look forward to for my next Unsolved Mystery stream. But tonight, I have got two spine-chilling Unsolved Mysteries that I want to share with you guys. Are we ready to enter the unknown? We've got 39 likes on the stream. Can we get it up to 50? Can we get 50 likes on the stream, and then we'll enter the unknown officially? I just sent the same amount. I would buy a decent bootleg Michael Myers mask. 1999. Well, it'll get you this kind of Michael Myers mask. The Alcoholics Anonymous Michael Myers. This is the kind of mask you can get for $19.99. We need a campfire, and we need some s'mores. All right, 50 likes on the stream. Thank you all very much. I appreciate it. Okay, here we go. We're going to dive into tonight's first mystery. What's up, Dream Emulator? Hope you're doing well. My mom and I used to watch Unsolved Mysteries all the time when I was a kid, and it scared the crap out of us both. Yeah. Oh, let me tell you guys. I may have told this story before in the past, but let me tell you guys a story. I was a kid watching Unsolved Mysteries one night. I don't remember what the episode was, or what the mystery was, or whatnot, but whatever it was, it must have been creepy because I was already creeped out. The phone rings. I answer the phone, and there's a woman on the other end screaming Mommy, Mommy, Mommy. I slammed the phone down. I was freaked. And within seconds, the phone started ringing again. I wouldn't answer it. So like my mother walked into the living room where I was watching this, and she was like, who's calling? What's up? What's going on? And I don't remember even saying anything. I just remember being like, she just saw the freaked out look on my face. She picked up the phone. I could hear the woman on the other end of the line screaming, Mommy, Mommy, Mommy. What had happened was this woman who lived down the street from us, who was a friend of the family, her mother had just died. And for some reason, I was a little kid, I don't know. I remember leaving the house, walking down the street, and standing in front of their house, and I could see in through the front door, and I could see the old woman sitting in a chair, lifeless. And that's all I remember about it. The phone calls freaked me the hell out because I was already freaked out by an episode of Unsolved Mysteries. And for some reason, I wandered down the street to go have a look-see. And I saw the old lady sitting in the chair, gone. So I think that may have just set the mood. What's going on, Christian? Hope you're doing well. All right, so here we go. I would like to introduce you all to a gentleman by the name of Christopher Case. Christopher Case was the quintessential normal guy. He was quiet, hardworking, and would rather stay in and listen to music than go out on a Saturday night. He was certainly the kind of guy who worried very little about curses. That is, until a curse was supposedly placed on him. Within a week of being cursed, Christopher Case was dead. Christopher Case was born and raised in Raleigh, North Carolina. He loved music and became a popular DJ in his hometown. By 1991, Christopher had made the move to Seattle, Washington in order to pursue a career in music. He'd landed a job at a company that specialized in elevator music, where he quickly rose to the rank of an executive. Christopher was a successful 35-year-old who followed a healthy lifestyle. He exercised diligently, ate healthy, and took vitamins. By all accounts, Christopher was friendly, but not outgoing. He didn't go out much, and was happily single. In April of 1991, he embarked on a business trip to San Francisco. There he met a woman he described to a friend as being attractive, but at least 20 years older, and unnervingly intense. The two bonded over their mutual affection for ancient Egyptian music, and when she invited Chris to join her for dinner so they could continue their conversation, he agreed. Christopher enjoyed talking music with her, but he could tell that she wanted more out of the evening than just good conversation. Just as Christopher was prepared to excuse himself and retire back to his hotel for the night, she asked him to come home with her. Christopher politely declined. She asked again, this time more demanding. Christopher explained that he had enjoyed her company, but that he wasn't interested in anything more. This enraged the woman, who revealed to him that she was a witch, and that within a week's time, he'd be dead. Now, what's interesting about the case of Christopher Case is how little information there is about him out there. this is the only known photo of Christopher. As a matter of fact, the vast majority of what we know about Christopher comes from one of his only known friends, a self-described psychic, a woman named Sammy. According to her, Christopher shrugged off the curse and wrote it off as a case of a woman's scorn. He didn't believe in the occult and was not religious. Christopher eventually flew back to Seattle, and for a few days things returned to normal. Then the voices began. Christopher first reported hearing ghostly voices whispering throughout his apartment. He felt as if he were being watched, especially at night. And then he began seeing shadows moving around. He'd bolt out of bed in the middle of night, sure that there was an intruder in his home. He searched throughout the small apartment, switching on the lights in every room, but no one was there. His door was locked from the inside. He was all alone. Chris told this to Sammy over the phone one night, the first of 3 phone calls he'd have with her during his final week. At this point, Chris was sure that the woman's threat of a curse had gotten to him, and the whispers and shadows, the feeling of being watched, were all just his mind playing tricks on him. During the second phone call to Sammy, Christopher reported being attacked in his sleep. He woke feeling the hands of an unseen aggressor around his throat, strangling him with such force that it lifted him up off his bed. Chris struggled, gasping for breath, before being released and falling back onto his mattress with force. He jumped out of bed and stood with his back to the corner, prepared to defend himself, his hands balled up into fists. That's when he felt the stinging pain in his fingers. He discovered that the tips of each of his fingers had somehow sustained painful cuts. It was at this point any doubt in his mind evaporated. Chris became certain the curse was real, and his life was very much in danger. The following day, Christopher visited a religious bookstore where he purchased crucifixes and books on the occult. Chris intended to defend himself against whatever forces were tormenting him. He placed a number of crucifixes and lit candles around the apartment. He poured lines of salt around the perimeters of every room. He studied the books on the occult and took notes on combating evil spirits and offsetting curses. In less than a week, the rational, hard-working, quintessential normal guy's life had been turned upside down. He'd not shown up for work in days. He hadn't slept in several nights. He was on the verge of a breakdown. And it only got worse. During his last phone call to Sammy, Chris reportedly sounded resigned to his fate. The previous night had been particularly bad, he'd said. They had almost gotten him. He reported to Sammy that he felt like tonight would be his last night alive. It wasn't until the following day that Sammy listened to Christopher's message. Concerned, she called the Seattle police and requested they pay him a wellness check. On April 18th, exactly 7 days after his dinner with the mysterious older woman, the police entered Christopher Case's apartment to find it candlelit, with crucifixes scattered throughout, and lines of salt drawn around every room. They found Chris in the bathroom. He was kneeling in the bathtub, fully clothed, his hands held together as if in prayer, and his forehead pressed against the wall. Myocarditis was listed as the official cause of death in the coroner's report. Myocarditis is defined as an inflammation of the middle layer of the heart wall and can cause sudden death. Was Christopher Case cursed by a scorned witch who used dark magic to get revenge? Had he allowed himself to get so worked up over the idea of being cursed that he scared himself to death? Or was it a case of a bad ticker? An interesting thing about myocarditis, one of the symptoms of myocarditis is a sudden shortness of breath while at rest, as if you're being strangled. Another interesting symptom, an overwhelming feeling of impending doom. Christopher Case. What do y'all think? Was it the witch's curse? Had he allowed the idea of a witch's curse to get to him to the point that he literally scared himself to death? Or was it just a bad heart? What say you? By the way, if you notice, Chris's friend, Sammy, is an older woman who claims to be a psychic. Coincidence? Most likely the witch. Scary story, in my opinion. It was the curse. The medical evidence. I thought it was interesting. I mean, if you look up myocarditis, one of the symptoms is an overwhelming sense of impending doom. And of course, the shortness of breath while at rest. Maybe the witch knew that. I think the witches make examples out of those who vehemently deny the power of black magic. Dang, that's crazy. Yes. Christian's outside right now getting a little creeped out. In less than a week's time, Christopher Case went from being the quintessential normal guy to dead. Very strange. Very strange. He was 35. He was only 35. Spooky dooky, yes indeed. Yes indeed. There is evidence there's a Seattle Times article about Christopher out there. But aside from that, there's really not that much information about him or about his case. And like I said, pretty much the entire story is being told from Christopher's point of view by his friend, Sammy, the psychic. Oh my God. I think his soul died when he started programming elevator music. Oh, goodness. That was really good, Biz. Thank you. Thank you, Cody. I appreciate that. Yes, this is the only known picture of Christopher Case. Of course, this all happened pre-social media. So, this was back before, pictures of people were strewn throughout the internet. I don't know. Rest in peace, Christopher Case. My next unsolved mystery is about a woman by the name of Olivia Mabel. The Whackers. I love that unsolved mystery. Yes, the Whackers. Was it Bill and Dorothy Whacker? So creepy. That one is so creepy. I may have to do that one as well in the future. That's another one of my favorite Unsolved Mysteries episodes. So now, the Christopher Case Unsolved Mystery and the Olivia Mabel mystery, those weren't featured in episodes of Unsolved Mysteries. These are just two cool, creepy mysteries that I like personally. So... All right. Well, let's talk about Olivia Mabel, shall we? Olivia Mabel, her husband Travis, and their son Aiden called a sprawling 13-acre ranch an hour or so outside of Dallas, Texas home. By all accounts, they were a happy family. As a matter of fact, the reason for purchasing a ranch of that size was so it could facilitate their family's eventual growth. By the age of 7, Aiden was still their only child, though. Olivia and Travis bathed him in affection. Aiden loved the grounds surrounding the home and would play outside for hours on end. So on the afternoon of the 13th of March, 1990, when Aiden asked his mother if he could go out and play, she obliged, asking only that he return home in time for dinner. And as Aiden had done so many times before, he eagerly bounded out the door and into the sunny Texas afternoon. But dinner time came and Aiden hadn't returned. This wasn't entirely out of the ordinary, though. Sometimes Aiden would lose track of time, lost in his own imagination while at play. So when Olivia and Travis went looking for him, they thought they'd find him, excitedly playing. Olivia and Travis had only been out looking for Aiden for a short time before finding him, floating lifeless in a...
Yes, darling, what is it? Mother, this cloth smells of death.
Hey, Carter, thank you for the $2 super chat. Appreciate that. Let me start over here. Olivia and Travis had only been out looking for Aiden a short time before finding him, floating lifeless in a pond not far from the house. He had fallen in and drowned. The immense guilt and grief both Olivia and Travis felt tore their marriage apart. They were divorced the following year, and Travis moved east. Olivia, on the other hand, remained on the property. She withdrew from her family and friends. She stopped going to work and attending church. By all reports, Olivia never left the house. Phone calls went unanswered, messages unreturned. Her only visitors were delivery drivers from the grocery store. Her orders were always prepaid and left at the door. That's all right, Carter. I'll get to your message here shortly. Years went by without so much as a single sighting of Olivia. People wondered if Olivia were even still living at the ranch. Then one evening on the 27th of February, 1994, a phone call traced back to the property was made to 911. The operator heard only silence on the other end, and after roughly a minute, the call ended. Moments later, A second call traced back to the same address was received, and then a third. Both lasted roughly a minute in length, and only silence was heard from the other end. Officers were sent to the house. They couldn't see through any of the windows because they had been whitewashed, and the front door had not been opened in so long that it had swelled, bowing out to the point that it had to be broken down. What they discovered inside the home baffled them. The home appeared as if it had not been lived in years. The air was thick inside. A dense layer of dust covered every surface. Cobwebs hung from every corner. Each room looked exactly the same, dust-covered, dark, cold, and littered with cobwebs. That is, until they reached what had once been Aiden's room. His room was tidy, organized, and pristine. It looked exactly the same as it did the day he died. With one exception. Olivia Mabel was seated inside on a rocking chair, clad in a nightgown and slippers, holding what appeared at first to be a rag doll in her hands. It appeared as if she'd been dead for months. Upon closer inspection, the doll she was clutching looked homemade, constructed from broken branches. It had been wrapped in pieces of Aiden's clothing. In front of Mabel's body was an altar on which she had placed candles, some of Aiden's possessions, as well as drawings and photographs of Aiden. They also discovered letters written to Aiden from Olivia, detailing the overwhelming guilt and grief she felt, how much she missed him, and how desperate she was to see him again. The officers were shaken to their very core, particularly a female officer, a mother of two herself, who found the scene too overwhelming. After stepping outside and taking a moment to gather herself, a chill ran up her spine. Who had made the calls to 911? The home had been locked from the inside, and no one had gone in or out in months. The phone from which the 911 calls had been traced back to was untouched, covered in a thick layer of dust. Things took an even more bizarre turn when an officer examined one of the letters on the altar. It reportedly read, "My sweet Aiden, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I should have never let it get like this. I'm leaving. I will not let you keep me, you vile, evil creature. Mommy's coming for you, my sweet Aiden. Mommy loves you." The letter was dated the 27th of February, 1994, the very same day the 911 calls were received, the very same day police had entered her home. It appeared that Olivia had been dabbling in the occult. Adorning her makeshift altar were a number of characters that appeared to be written in Sanskrit. Characters, when translated, read to build or to construct. Olivia may have been trying to create a tulpa, or a thought form, based on the homemade doll in her lifeless hands. Had Olivia attempted to channel her grief into a manifestation of Aiden, and had it gone horribly wrong? What vile, evil creature had she spoken of in her letter, and was it responsible for her death? None of the officers that reported to Olivia Mabel's home that day could agree on what exactly might have happened to her, or what any of it meant. What they could agree on, though, was an uncomfortable feeling they all shared the moment they entered the house. A dark, angry presence. The ranch has sat empty ever since. The realtor claims that every prospective buyer he's taken there have been turned away by the oppressive atmosphere. The realtor himself has even claimed to have experienced paranormal phenomena while there. The realtor, desperate to sell the property, invited a paranormal investigator to visit the ranch. The paranormal investigator claimed that the house was possessed by a force like none he'd ever experienced. He recommended a quote-unquote serious intervention before anyone should ever enter that home again. So what happened to Olivia Mabel? Here's her altar, with the pictures of and drawings of Aiden. There's his baseball glove, some candles. There's some of the characters in Sanskrit. There's a pair of his shoes. There's some of the letters that she wrote to him. There's a notion that when people become emotionally weakened through death or despair is when the evil invades the human soul. Well, there's a caveat to the Olivia Mabel mystery. There's a reason why the mystery of Olivia Mabel has remained unsolved. And that's because it never happened. The story of Olivia Mabel was created by a group of filmmakers in 2016. They were attempting to raise funds via Kickstarter to produce a Tulpa-related horror movie. The Kickstarter failed, but the Olivia Mabel story has lived on. And for many years, people believed it to be true. But it's all made up. All part of a Kickstarter campaign to finance a horror movie. So what y'all think of that? It's a good story, though, right? It's a darn good story. That should have been the horror movie they were trying to make. You know. Not use that story to springboard into their own Tulpa-related horror movie. But, yep, there's even a website, a Blair Witch-style website created for Olivia Mabel that the producers created that's still out there. It's got voice recordings. It's got photos of, like, the letter, the vile evil creature letter. There's all sorts of stuff on that website. But, yeah. It's interesting, though. The story that they created for this Kickstarter campaign has lived on far longer than the actual Kickstarter campaign. And there's a lot of people out there who believe it to be true. Empty Man is a great Tulpa movie. Yes. Alexis is feeling punked. So yeah, Olivia Mabel. Fact or fiction? It is unfortunately fiction. But creepy as hell nonetheless. Let me see here. What was Carter Schumacher? Thank you for the $2 super chat. What is Taco Man's taco count so far this week? Let's see. How many times have we? I think we've only been twice this week. We've only been twice this week. So, thank you, Punisher Batman fan. Appreciate that. Are there any unsolved mysteries that you guys would recommend me to cover in a future Unsolved Mysteries stream? By the way, if you've not dropped a like on the stream, please do so. I would appreciate that. Is there anybody in the chat who's planning on coming to Scarefest in October? Because Taco Man will be making an appearance. Just don't say his name 5 times. You'll have to take him for tacos. The Whacker case is already on the list. I promise. The Whacker case is on the list. The alien UFO episodes of Unsolved Mysteries scared the crap out of me. Those and the haunting episodes, those reenactments just freaked me out. Oy. I know Christian is Scarefest bound. I've been considering it. I've got like $800 in airline credits. Holy crap, man. If you can make it, that'd be cool. Dream Emulator. There's too many episodes. My dad showed them around the courthouse here for one, but I can't figure out which one it was. A Scarefest is in Lexington, Kentucky. And it used to, well, it used to be called the Lexington Center. They recently changed it. I think it's like the Citibank Center or something now. But it's in the same location. They just remodeled it and whatnot. But I hope you all enjoyed the return of the Unsolved Mystery Stream. And there will be more, I promise. I promise there will be more. There will be more. The WNUF sequel is pretty good at capturing the 90s UFO Unsolved Mystery type show vibe. Okay. I'm not sure if I knew there was it in a WNUF sequel. Tell you one thing I'm excited for is that new 101 Films Ghost Watch Blu-ray. I am super excited for that sucker. When will your next Unsolved Mystery Stream be, Piz? I don't know. Probably about, I don't know. Maybe in a couple weeks or something. Probably get, try and do at least a couple of more before Halloween. Lexington's about 13 hours away from me, and I've never been to a convention. Would love to go sometime. Scarefest would be a good first convention because they always do a great job with organization and with how things are set up. So it's always a good laid back convention. Even if there's a lot of people in there, there's just so much room that, I mean, you don't feel like you don't feel cramped, you know what I mean? You don't feel like you're, being crushed up against other people. And I've been to conventions like that, and those aren't fun. There's nothing in the way of conventions in Iowa. Buried Alive with Donald Pleasance. No, don't think I've seen that one. There was an episode of Unsolved Mysteries or Fact or Fiction about an old lady who got a new door and it wouldn't unlock for this person who was there to harm her or something like that. I don't remember that Unsolved Mystery. The WNUF sequel is called The Halloween Megatape. Yeah, I've seen people post about that on Twitter. The Halloween Megatape. Yeah. Here it is. Okay. And it's good? Is it good? Ah, the Dyatlov Pass incident. That's a good one. Although I don't know, that one's kind of well known. There's a lot of people have already covered that one. But that's definitely a weird, creepy one. That's for sure. Ghostwatch genuinely terrified me when I was a kid. I thought it was a documentary and it traumatized me. It did that to a lot of people. It did that to a lot of people. Yeah, that's going to be a good release. And that's a movie that more people need to see. That Ghostwatch is so good. It's so well done. So well done. That would be the perfect movie to watch on Halloween night. So good. So good. I think I'm going to go ahead and call it there. I'm starting to lose my voice. I've done too many streams over the course of the past week that I'm totally losing my voice. I tried shooting a video earlier today, and I was it was like painful. It was painful. But I do want to thank everybody for hanging out with me. Hey, what's up, Jay the Stingray? How you doing, sir? The Alien Autopsy on Fox. I remember that. Yep. A lot of hoopla around that thing, too. A lot of hoopla. But I want to do some shout-outs here before I call it a night. Let's see who was with me over on Twitch. We got Envy Davler hanging out with me over on Twitch. Donald Zakow. Febzer and SV7SV. Thank y'all for hanging out with me over on Twitch. Let's see who's still with me here on YouTube. We got Super Tenor. We got Cody. We got Christian. We got Dream Emulator. Jay the Stingray. Dave O. Drum Smash. Death Rattle. Carter Schumacher. William Ramskill. Rick Hunter. Alexis is Horror. Big Crack Rock. Got Rizami. Drum Smash 88. Punisher Batman Fan. Bog Zombie. Ben Grimm. Ewan Thomas. Chris Roberts. Got Dave from Jersey. JHPLLC. Phantasm 81. Robert Long. Shout out to Dave O for the $2 super chat. Big shout out to JHPLLC for the $19.99 super chat. That's very kind of you, sir. Shout out to Carter Schumacher for the $2 super chat. Thank you all very much. And thank y'all for hanging out with me. I'm planning on doing another SNS this Sunday. Got a few topics lined up to talk about. Got some unboxings to do. And so there will be a Sunday night stream. By the way, if you have purchased a PWO shirt from my TeePublic store, and you've received it, please send me a picture or a brief video of yourself wearing it, and we will include it in the next PWO new member video. So, right on. All right, you guys, thanks again for hanging out with me. I appreciate it. There you go, Davo, PWO. Thank you, sir. Yeah, thank y'all for hanging out with me tonight. I do appreciate it. And Thank you to all my patrons and channel members. I appreciate your generosity and support of my channel. Become a patron today and have a say in what content appears on my channel. Join me for monthly live streams and much more. Become a channel member today and get access to exclusive badges and emotes to use when I stream. Both those links are in the description. Say hello to the internet, Jeremy.
Hello to the internet.